Hey Smauglings, what is happening? I want to do this video that discusses some of the films I've watched over the past week. So I've got my little journal here, movie notebook, and I went to school for writing, as some of you may know, and old habits die hard, so I'm constantly writing this thing. I've got a couple of journals where I fill the pages with the films that I've watched over the past year or so. So I've got a lot of these, and this is the latest addition to the notebook collection I've got. And I've become quite a prodigious note taker recently, due to the fact that I've got so many ideas that I just want to keep track of them. Not saying they're all good ideas, but they're ideas that I want to keep track of. So I got this notebook, and I thought it'd be a fun video just to go through some of the films I've watched over the past week, and perhaps try to make that a recurring series. So I want to try and do that, and I wanted to go over the films I've watched over the previous week. So hope you enjoy, guys, and I will start with the first film. First film I'm going to talk about is Conclave. This is the film that was Oscar nominated, and it stars Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, Isabella Rossellini. Got a great cast here for this film, and directed by Edward Berger, who did All Quiet on the Western Front. That's a great last name, by the way, brilliant last name. But he did All Quiet on the Western Front, which is a great remake of that World War I classic. And this is a really good film. I think Ralph Fiennes gives an amazing performance. He's always great. Lord Voldemort himself is always great. He's a brilliant actor. I thought this was a really good intellectual, dramatic film, and it relies heavily on the performances and the writing, because there's not a lot of action. Obviously, it's a film that's concerned with the assembly of cardinals, and the Pope has recently died, so we have to elect a new Pope, and that's what the film is concerned with, the election of this new Pope. Who is going to fill this vacancy that the previous Pope has left, and that's what the film is concerned with. And really good dramatic film, and love me a good drama, and that's what this is a really good drama that relies on the writing and the characters, and it's a good raw film, and I thought that was really good. Really enjoyed it. So that is Conclave there. Next one I'm going to talk about is The Gorge. So this is the science fiction action thriller romance film. A lot of different genres in this particular film, and it's directed by Scott Derrickson, who's a horror maestro, done a lot of great horror films, and he's also done Doctor Strange as well, and he's also done Black Phone and Sinister, which is probably my favourite film of his previously. And this film is with Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, and they're two elite military operatives that are positioned in an undisclosed location, and they are supposed to guard this gorge, this facility that houses mysterious danger, and they have to guard it for a year, I believe. I believe the guards are posted for a year, and then they rotate, and they have to guard the east and west walls, and they're not supposed to come into contact with each other. But if you've seen the trailers, you know that's what happens, and it's not a spoiler because it's on the poster, and it's the premise of the film that they must collaborate with each other. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this film. I thought this film was great. I had a good time with it. I thought Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy had great chemistry. I thought they were really good together, and I really enjoyed it. I will say that I think the film is stronger when it's concerned with their relationship and the way they communicate with each other. I think there are some really fun and inventive ways that they communicate with each other, because they obviously are not within arm's reach of each other. They have to find ways to communicate with each other, as they don't have telecommunication, so they have to find some sort of way to communicate with each other. And it's really cool and fun and really interesting, and it's a really good film. I will say it gets a bit silly near the end, and I guess a bit outlandish, but fun movie, really fun movie. I really enjoyed The Gorge, and I'd recommend that. That's on Apple TV Plus, so I definitely recommend seeing that. Next one we got here is a film I did a review on, which is The Electric State, directed by the Russo brothers, who are known for their monumental successes with Marvel. And they've obviously made some of the biggest films of all time in Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and they're massively successful in Marvel. And they've struggled outside of Marvel for a little bit. And I gotta be honest, I've not enjoyed the films they've done since Marvel. I think the only one I've really seen is The Grey Man, and I wasn't a massive fan of that, quite honestly. But this film is another fun film. I really enjoyed this film, and it's with Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, and it's set after this war with robots occurs in the 90s, and humanity is left to pick up the pieces, and Millie Bobby Brown's character has to look for her little brother that's been lost, and Chris Pratt is someone that served in the war, and they collaborate with each other in trying to find her brother. And it's not going to win any Oscars, but it's a fun film. I enjoyed it. It cost $320 million, which is really baffling to me. I don't know how it cost that much, but it's got some really great effects. I will say that the effects are really good, so I can't knock it for that. And I enjoyed my time with this film. It's just a fun film, and that's what you need sometimes. You just need a fun film, and I try not to be overly critical of these types of film, because it seems as though it's set out to do what it did, and it succeeded, so I can't really knock it for that. And I enjoyed my time with The Electric State. It's a good science fiction adventure comedy, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. The next film I'm going to talk about is Suspiria, which is directed by Dario Argento, and I've really gone into a deep dive of Dario Argento, the horror maestro, and I hadn't had much experience with his films previously, so I wanted to delve into his filmography, and that's what I've done recently. I've really started to watch a lot of films of Dario Argento and love this one. This one is really great. It's got a really crazy progressive rock soundtrack, and it's set within this elite dancing academy. And this young American girl has come to Germany to dance at this academy, and there's some strange things going on at the academy, and it's really fun, very vibrant in its colours, and the soundtrack, like I said, is amazing. It's got a lot of progressive rock, and it's really unique and really funky, and it's really good in that way. It's got a really unique feel to it, and this is my first real foray into Dario Argento, and I've really gone into a deep dive. So this is the first of the Dario Argento films I've really started to watch, and love this one. It's a really great one to start with. I definitely recommend that people start with this film if they want to get into Dario Argento and his Italian horror films, because it's a really great one, and I definitely recommend that. I will say as well that I did watch the remake originally, and I'd never seen the original, but I'm glad I have now, and I might have to rewatch the remake because it's very different from this. I was actually surprised. I thought the remake was a direct remake of it, but it's very different from what I remember, so I'll have to see that again, I think. So that is Suspiria there. So those are the films, guys. Those are the films I've recently watched over the past week. Let me know what you guys have been watching and what you think of the films that I've listed there. Love to hear them, and I really appreciate your Smauglings. Hope you guys are well, and I will see you soon. So you guys take care, and I will see you soon.